making money for them. So again, this is an experimental thing from us. The more feedback we can get from the folks, wherever you are, whoever you are, the better for us, because we'll fine-tune this award as the years go by if we find it's relevant, if it attracts people. Because it's that old deal, you build it and nobody shows up, what have you got? But if you have a film festival and you have people show up, and more or less filmmakers show up, that's even better. So that's our goal, is just to try to reach out, find a new audience, reach out to a younger audience, stay relevant in the world of filmmaking today. So let me show you this little video. I asked 10 generic questions to everybody after I got through the chit chat, and are you safe, do you feel safe? But basically, what kind of equipment, what do you use for your music? What's the most difficult thing you find about delivering your product to YouTube, whether it's internet or just not finding time, or you're in the middle of nowhere and you have losing power because it's been raining for a week, so your solar thing isn't charging. So you'll see snake bits of this. I got 4 out of 5. The fifth person, Tim Collins, who's out of Arizona, I couldn't get him on a Zoom. So all I want to do is put a face to our finalists and a little bit of things about them and what's relevant to them, the difficulties they find for themselves to make this. And then after that, I'd love to answer questions, comments, anything that you folks have, because again, we're doing this for people. You know, we're not doing this just for me. It's about getting filmmakers involved, getting an audience involved. Let me turn up the lights for it. What's that? A YouTube festival. Well, it might become a big part of our festival if the audience is there. Because again, did that kill you to turn the lights off? No. Good. Like I said, this is a research and development for us as the Ojai Film Festival. So we're looking for feedback, and if it becomes something that's like, yeah, that's what audience are, that's what filmmakers are nowadays, the true filmmakers, not the studio people. Studio people have Sundance. They have the bigger film markets to go to. You know, we understand we're a little film festival, but we still want to stay relevant in today's world.
I started in December 2013. So I traveled for 2 years with a backpack, planes, trains, automobiles, tuk-tuks, hitchhiking, and I was doing that with a friend until about November of 2015. And then she was working on her doctorate degree, and so the university said you have to come back and do some lab work. So then I went solo and decided if I'm solo, I might as well be on a motorcycle. So I came back for about a month in 2016 to the United States, got my motorcycle, and then headed down through South America to the Pan American Highway, and off I went. So then I just came back to the United States about 4 months ago. So I was on the road a little over 7 years, living in hotels and tents and things. Last trek, it was about 56 countries, something like that. I sort of lose track. At markonabike.com, there's a map, and it's interactive. You can see every place I went. And so on the motorcycle, I had my GPS tracking, and so you can see, you can zoom in and see like every place I went, hotels I stayed at, all gas stations. So the stuff that I wish I had to make videos of writing, I don't have room for it. So over the years, I have some stuff that I brought. So this is my favorite little tool. This is a DJI Osmo Action. This is a phenomenal camera, and I've used GoPros, I've used all kinds of Garmin devices and everything, and this is the guy for me that absolutely works. The audio is wonderful. It's not very expensive. You can see yourself. It's 4K. It's got image stabilization, and it's like, I think $350, $400, something like that. But this camera, and this is a Rode mic I use. It's the on camera. Anything that's not on the motorcycle is this guy here. This is an Osmo Pocket, a DJI Osmo Pocket. So it's a full gimbal. It's tiny, so you can take off. You can see that's just this tiny, tiny little camera.
Well, I was just going to preface this, I guess, by saying that, you know, as a coming into YouTube as an experienced filmmaker was a little bit different. And I think the challenge for me and the challenge that I was looking for was, how do I up my game? How do you teach an old dog new tricks? How do you stay relevant? How do I avoid going into the dustbin because I've been doing this so long, I get tied to my own methods of production and don't stay current and relevant to the way things are done today. And so that's kind of what brought me into YouTube a few years ago, was looking for ways to continually challenge myself and up my game and do what I do, but do it with today's medium, with today's tools, to today's audience. And so that's kind of what brought me into the whole YouTube space, was just looking for that new challenge and trying to work within the modern ways of doing things and not just stay complacent with the way that I've done things in the past. When I started motorcycling and making movies about motorcycling in the beginning, I thought maybe I would just do that type of stuff in addition to my normal everyday bread and butter film and video work. And maybe I'd make a little extra money on the side to pay for a new helmet or a new jacket and things like that. And over time, it turns out that became the most successful part of my career. And I made a living making specifically motorcycle related films. You know, who can say with YouTube, it does provide an opportunity for a lot of people to make some additional income, and for some people, a lot of money.
I started my channel in 2013, 14, something like that, because at that time I was doing solo ride around Australia. And then I did 2 little videos, and that's how, and sort of, little here and there videos from my life in Australia, just about camping and riding, but it was nothing really regular. And when I hit the road for the round world trip, then my vlogs become, very regular. I'm posting now 1 video per week, so it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Internet is a struggle, especially here in Africa, and you either don't have it, or if you have it, you spend so much money on it. So the way I work, I can't do edits, full edits anymore. If I have to, gather all these 5 cameras that I have, and it would take me 2 weeks to edit 1 video. So what I do, I have edited that I will send him I would have to upload my content on cloud, and then he will cut it down, let's say 1 hour. And then I'm jumping into that 1 hour, because he can't tell the story. It's my journey, isn't it? Like, I need to direct this video to actually to deliver the story, and like for the video to, to make sense. So he would send me back the 1 hour, and I would divide it in episodes, let's say 3 episodes, 20 minutes each. And then, I have this program where I tell him, cut, stop, speed, this effect, that caption, move it around. And so sort of I'm directing, but I'm not physically anymore editing, because I just don't have time for that. On the road, it's just too hard. Action cameras, I use GoPro. The one that you mount on my helmet and the bike. I also have recently, I use GoPro Max, which gives you the 360 angle footage. And then I use my phone a lot. Now I'm stopping to use my phone. I'm trying to be more professional now. So I bought the Sony camera, but it's like a vlogging camera. So I'm using that now. And I also have a drone. I've got Cine camera here on the helmet. So yeah, I've got around 5 devices. And get the ideas of the music. I use audio blocks, story blocks. Yeah, that's what you call it. Because, as a YouTuber, you need to have a license to your videos to make money, on monetization. So I use, story blocks, which you pay like, I don't know, I think it's now $150 maybe a year. And then you have unlimited access to all the data. So sometimes I know what vibe I want. So I would research, and it's like, okay, use this song for that sequence. And sometimes it's like, I have no time for researching music. So he will just put any songs he will, prefer.
No, we went in with the expectation of starting a YouTube channel and just doing it for 6 months just to see what would happen. And then things have just picked up, and it's been steady growing as it goes. So we decided to just keep it going. And here we are today.
Yeah, our first year, well, 2020, we went out in a tent, and we really thought we went out in April. August came, and we thought we'd quit in August. And August came, and we were just having too much fun, and we thought, well, let's just keep going.
Mhm.
So we kept going, and now we're in what we call Ruby. Behind us, we got her in January of 21, and she's kind of made us a little bit more comfortable.
For sure.
So
You're still in the elements. You're still in a tent.
Yeah.
So, we're living in a tent, mostly remote areas, and we have solar panels. I have a 100-watt or a 100 amp hours of lithium battery and a solar charge controller inside the belly of this, and I'm using that to generate the power we need to do everything. And these computers, when they're editing, they are really crunching hard, and that's a struggle, is to make sure we have enough sunlight to keep and do the edits. And then if we're in a remote area, we've got no cell service. So a lot of times we'll download at camp and then go into a small town and find us a cell tower to do an upload. Editing, I do all the post stuff. Chris does the organization. She organizes the clips and everything we get from all of the cameras, and then puts it in a file, and then I bring it into Adobe and do all of the final and post editing. As for planning, Chris does a lot of the route planning, and then I kind of take over the route once she plans an idea, and then I create the destination and how to get there, and and guide us to the end result where she wants to be.
yeah, I do most of the filming and try to bring the story together, and then Richard takes that and turns it into something that's a lot better than what I was thinking.
So that's 4 of our 5 folks. Like I said, the one gentleman was, by the way, that lady rides that bike, that black bike right there. The older lady that we just watched, that's her bike. That's a big, heavy piece of equipment she's riding there. So I'm impressed with the undertaking these people are doing out in the middle of nowhere. And again, they're all pretty much concentrated on telling a story. They understand it's got to be a story involved. So, and that takes time. I don't know how many folks edit, but you can shoot footage all day, and you realize what you have once you edit. I've walked a lot of times in the editing room with stuff that I've shot, thinking I have one thing, and the editor says, "This is what you got." No, sir. You'll get your money back. There's no movie. Again, this is more of an explanation of how we came up with the YouTube Filmmakers Award. If you want to see their work, they have hundreds of hours on their YouTube channels, which links are in our brochure on our website. So you can go home. I don't own that footage, and I couldn't download it off of YouTube to show clips. It wouldn't let me. I used clip grab, and it wouldn't let me pull their footage. I don't know if they have a blocker on it now. I don't know what exactly with YouTube. There might be a program where you can download YouTube videos. But again, that's their footage. This stuff, I told them I was recording them, and it was more or less so you folks can put a face to who's up for the awards. If you're interested in what their work is from here, go to their YouTube channel, because there's hundreds of hours there for each channel that you can watch product.
So are you going to actually get some footage to show?
Not tonight. Like I said, this whole thing for us this year is experimental. You're all part of research and development. We're trying to see how this goes with the audience, or the potential audience.
Well, I can't really give you any feedback until I see your stuff.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Show yourself.
My question would be, is there any questions of what you have seen? I understand totally you can't feedback on their work.
Where does Ruby go? Is there one up here?
Yeah, let me see if I can pull up a website. Yeah, I just don't know how internet here is, but let me, what's that?
Ruby, big tent. How does that look like?
Ruby, the Big Ten, is in a trailer. The guy pulls it behind a Harley Davidson. She rides the bike, and he pulls the bike. They have a deal where they're out one day and they hit a hill in Wisconsin, and the trailer was so heavy his brakes didn't work on the hill. The thing jackknifed and he fell off. So it's just, again, it's what they deal with.
Hey, when you can go to YouTube and get one movie, download it, watch it right now.
There you go. You're expecting a movie at a film festival, aren't you? The winner we announce on Sunday at our deal. But I can tell you that the girl for Africa, Kinga, is going to be our winner. Because we believe she embodies the true...
She wasn't Mike. She was just talking to the what?
To her computer, and she's in Botswana, so the internet is hitting the mitten. So, and it's hard, and she's Dutch or Polish, so it's hard to, with an accent and the internet, it was hard to, what's that? No, she's Dutch, moved to Australia, and then been traveling. She's been to Patagonia, she's been all over. She plans to do the Americas in March. She's on a journey to circle the globe on her motorcycle. I can't pull up internet here. Oh wait. Yeah, no, that's what I'm doing. And it's not letting me, of course. We don't have internet in this building that you know of, do we? Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have a hotspot?
Yeah, I've got it.
It's just not picking it up.
It's just not letting me get on. Oh wait, there we go. Somebody's.
Mine usually comes with the iPhone.
Yeah, so does mine.
This is the checkers game where grandson and granddad will bond.
I want to show you something. This is so cool. So clearly I'm getting closer to the equator, and it's middle of the day. The sun is right above me, and I'm shadeless. See? No shade. No shade. Isn't that cool?
See, of course, it's just footage.
One of the most interesting salads I've ever done. So it's got banana. Very nice to meet you. I'm so glad.
What's that?
What's she shooting with, you know?
She's got GoPros. She has a Sena camera on her helmet, and she has a drone.
I thought she was using an iPhone and all.
She does sometimes. She'll use her iPhone. Are you familiar with the GoPro camera?
And she's shooting in 4K or more.
I don't know. I would imagine nowadays with everything she's.
Finally, a biker on the road. Awesome.
Yeah, it looks good. It's really sharp.
Yeah. Yes, she's the only one because she can't have the time to edit, and doesn't have the ability to get her computer to edit, being as far out as she is. It took me a month to set up a Zoom with her, traveling the time zone and days and when she was available. So, yeah, so she doesn't, she sends her editor is in Romania. So she's got to find when she can. So clearly his work is above everybody else's because he is a professional cinematographer. This is the Sterling, the second gentleman we saw on out of the clips. We saw Mark Wallace, and then we went to Sterling. Sterling is the one that started. He was a cinematographer professionally. Then he got hired. The BDR is people that set up adventures, and they just do dirt roads. Like, so there's a BDR for Idaho, there's a BDR for Wyoming, and it's all dirt roads. And as they create one, he goes with the outfit and films it. So now if I want to go to Idaho and ride the BDR, which is the back discovery route, on my dirt bike, I pull up one of his videos and I can see where I'm going to end up and where I'm going to ride. Sometimes the terrain is really difficult, so I'll avoid that if I'm going to ride by myself. Yes, he's a solo. He edits himself.
Is he operating the drone or is he got somebody?
What's that?
Is he operating the drone himself?
You have a drone now that'll follow you. You can set it. You have a little remote control on your handlebar. So he's doing it. He doesn't have a film crew with him.
Is that what he's doing here?
Yes. Yes. Yep.
What's his output? So the lady was putting out one a week or something?
Yeah. I haven't seen anything from Sterling in a while, but he went with a group of guys that rode to Patagonia, and they brought him along just to film their adventure. So I think, so they'll pay him, and he'll spend 2 months traveling with these guys. He said the biggest difficulty is going with a group of guys, 6 or 8 guys on motorcycles. It takes so much time to film, you have to stop riding. And guys want to ride to Patagonia, they want to ride. They want to ride 6 or 8 hours a day. They don't want to wait. I'm going to put it on a tripod. Wait, the drone's not working. Wait, my batteries are dead. So out of the 6 or 8 guys he started with on a trip to Patagonia, he lost 4 of them halfway there. Because the guys that paid to go to Patagonia didn't want to F around with filming. So it's a big deal to film these things. It just doesn't happen.
What's the story? You said that they had good stories.
Well, it's just, you have to watch the whole things because it's just wherever he is now, Steamboat Springs, it's just traveling through Colorado. He'll tell you about the state of Colorado, people he runs across, you know. For him, it's about getting off the beaten trail and meeting folks and talking with the folks, finding interesting stories within his travels. So.
That's always the biggest issue is dealing with people who don't have patience. You know, you got to you got to walk into the frame, out of the frame, you got to stop, you got to change the angle, we're going to do something different. And
Yes.
all the way around to it.
Yes. Again, the 5 ones I selected are not for everybody. It's something that I took a liking to because I do this. Other people are going to look at it like, are you freaking kidding me? You're going to watch this guy ride around in the dirt or this girl ride around in the dirt. But I picked it apart. Are they storytellers? Are they filmmakers? Are they using production value? Do they put in music? It's YouTube again. It's not Universal. I'm not asking you to compare them with a major studio release or even a big independent film or a small independent film. I'm just saying we need to recognize them as filmmakers, I believe. And the audience may say, no, this is ridiculous. Where are we going with this? Then that, so be it. Because again, this is not for me. The Ojai Film Festival is for our audience.
Well, if you're committed to a storytelling, then you're going to take the time and patience to make it.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to do with guys that want to go on a road trip is not even.
Yeah, and he's, you know, this is Steamboat Springs. All these deals are his channels and things you can watch that he's done. He'll have 80 episodes that you can watch. So again, a select market, a select viewership, but are they filmmakers? You know, the people that drive around in them 40-foot motorhomes and travel around the country, a guy and a wife or a guy and his dog. The girl that was in South Africa, she had a lot of bad things happen in her life at one time when she was living in Australia. And she got on the road for therapy to clear her mind. She was falling into deep depression. And this was 7 years ago, whenever she started. And now she's happy, carefree. I don't know what happens to people after YouTube. That might be a whole movie amongst itself. These people now, they have the audience, they're having fun, they're doing what they're doing. What happens when they park the motorcycles and the cameras go off? Do they move into something else? Do they find happiness? Do they continue on? Or is this an addiction? It's a fairly new world, YouTube. And starting to recognize them as filmmakers is even a newer concept, because I don't know of any other film festival that's recognizing YouTube filmmakers as filmmakers. So we're stepping up. Again, research and development. We're stepping up. We're presenting, like I said, everybody might, who gives a shit about a guy or girl or anybody on a motorcycle driving around out in the woods? Could care less. I'm breaking it down. You know, somebody might like the motorhome, the van life, whatever, the four-wheel drive, the dune buggies, whatever it is. If people are telling a story and they have good production value, they're making films.
Well, you know, you had some Oscar winning at the beginning when iPhone came out. The shorts that won Oscar. So, you know, that was an interesting period.
As you can see, it's hard to pull up a YouTube video unless you buy the upgrade version where you don't get commercials. Because in his 16-minute whatever video here, another commercial is going to pop up that either you got to watch or you can skip in 5 seconds. So advertisers are starting to realize people are watching these. So they're diving on it. And if you want to get away from advertisers, you buy the upgrade program that's commercial free for YouTube, which I think is insane. But I'm probably going to do it because I don't want to see commercials.
So I would offer that I would really, maybe like next time, to hear more about people, right? Because I love your interviews, the little clips that we talk, but I think it would be really cool to have more like their stories as part of what, you know, as the audience.
Yes, thank you very much. Well, take it. Like I said, there's no wrong comments or wrong answers or wrong questions here. Because I'm stepping out in front of a room full of people saying, we're trying this. I might go home with my tail between my legs, but right now, we're trying this. I can honestly stand in front of everybody and say, I think they're filmmakers. I just happen to like this genre, the motorcycle travel. But when you break it down, they're filmmakers.
Did you put up an image that's queer so I can take a photo or something like that?
Yes, sir. You're not going to ask for your money back, are you?
It's a beautiful day up here in northwest Colorado. I'm outside of Steamboat Springs, riding around on these beautiful backcountry roads, bringing you guys along on this new adventure. We're going to have a really good time because this is one of my favorite things to do. And I gotta be honest, this adventure has been really hard for me to get ready for. I've known that I've had this trip coming up for quite a while, but just...
But see, this drone shot makes it so much better. Again, production value, getting out of the helmet cam or just do whatever. And I think this is going to grow. I think this field is going to grow. Yes, ma'am. Uh-huh. Any one of these folks have, they have their YouTube channel, they sell merchandise, and they have places where you can ask questions. So not only with the 5 that I've picked or the 4 that I picked that I'm showing, I think if you find anybody on YouTube that's making money and maybe in a realm and genre that you like, email them. Reach out to them via their channel. Because I think to answer your question, the more input you get from different people will help you make a choice on which way to go for you, rather than for me to say, well, it's about viewership and it's about this and that, and it's, find something you want to do. But, people now get on YouTube and they're selling lipstick and they're selling makeup with their blog and they're selling, it's gotten, to me, absurd. And it's just somebody basically in their bedroom with the little camera and talking about the new lipstick or hair color, and they're 22-year-old girls or 18-year-old, but they're making money because they have followers. So I would think what you like first, and then see how you can turn that into a YouTube channel, how you can turn that into making money, rather than say, what can I do on YouTube to make money? Because the thing, I think those girls selling lipstick probably make more money than him, because they have 100 million 18-year-old girls follow them. So their revenue is going to be bigger than what this guy's doing. So find something you like, watch YouTube channels, and email these folks. Reach out to them. Being what? Yeah. She's Polish. I think her family moved to Australia. She hit the level of depression and the bad times in her life, so she traveled to Australia first and just videoed it and sent out some stuff to YouTube, and it grew. So then she made, I'm traveling the world. She's on the same motorcycle that she travels on. They're loaded down. They're heavy motorcycles when they put all the gear. 90% of the time she's in the dirt. Yes. Because Mark, the first gentleman we saw, Mark Wallace, had reached out to Kinga when he was in Patagonia, saying, listen, you've already been here on this road. I'm dealing with customs and border patrol, and I want to bring in equipment. What am I going to watch out for? So they reach out and they talk amongst each other because they travel the same way and they travel on the same roads. So it's a whole subculture of people on the internet that are also doing this, and they may go to each other for tips on how to make money or what to do with revenue. I bought t-shirts from these outfits. I have one of these girls' stickers on my little motorcycle that says on her bike, just to support them, for $5 or something. But they're global. They're not dealing with the American market, right? YouTube is global. America is a small market when you're talking Japan and Australia and Europe and the world. Yes. So, and that's where these people are. They're global. YouTube. Yes. I don't know if her editor sends it when she does it. I don't do YouTube. I mean Facebook, Instagram myself personally. I would make enemies every morning, every day, every night. So I stay away. People want to hear my opinion on things. So I don't know anything about Instagram, which is very popular, and TikTok and all that stuff. I have no idea. Yeah, I don't even do Facebook. I mean, I have a face people don't want to see, so I don't do Facebook. Yeah. So again, I think if it's something that you're personally interested in pursuing as a career or for more information, reach out to these folks, because I've asked for them to mention us. Yeah, oh, I don't. Yes, I don't. Now, how long have you been in Ojai? We're looking for board members. Seriously, keep in mind, I've been preaching because I love them all to death, but we're all getting older. And I've said, guys, if we want to move further and keep staying relevant, we need younger membership, and we need to listen to them. So we're here. I'm here tomorrow night also for our little mixer and stuff like that. And I'm dead serious about anybody that is in the area would be interested in being on our board. We need younger. I think we only have 1 or 2 filmmakers that are actually on our board. The rest of the people, we've gone 22 years now, and these people have been into it for a long time. We're kind of sizzling out for whatever reason in the world of entertainment. Who figures what's hot and what's not? But we don't want to let go yet. And that's one reason for the YouTube deal, is to reach out to a younger audience.
You're the most money piece I've ever received.
There you go. Okay. Yeah, and I was just talking to some people in the lobby that have films and they're going to watch their independent films, and they said, well, you know, what are you doing? I said, and they're like, wow, that's a great idea. It's just definitely, you know. And again, a great idea, does it develop into a good part of a film festival? Does our film festival become more in depth for YouTube, that big screening room, that big theater room shows 20-minute clips of each filmmaker that we'll have, like we're showing for filmmakers. We show their film, independent film, have an animation, documentary. You know, the filmmakers come, they talk a little bit about their film, and they submit it, they'll be up for award. That's where YouTube can go with this. If we see the interest in there, then we'll get a little more in depth of what are the requirements to get an award, what are the requirements to get on our film festival. But again, anybody can get on YouTube. Anybody can get into making money on YouTube with their product if it's good. You don't have to worry about selling it. You don't have to worry about a story. You don't have to worry about, an agent or a studio or anything taking liking you. Come up with an idea and develop it and get it on YouTube. Because I've gone through the Netflix movies in about an hour during COVID. Everything worth watching on Netflix. I can't watch network TV and I can't watch the news. Become work and not travel? Good question, because I've tried a couple of my buddies. Like I said, I've been in the movie business for 40 years, so I've been around cameras, and I got drones and GoPros, and I took a buddy of mine out on his dirt bike, and he wanted to film himself riding this kind of country and send it back to his family and friends in Michigan that don't know what he does in California. Well, I'll tell you what, me and him were perplexed within an hour. I crashed my drone the first time up. So for me, a filmmaker, this then became a chore and a job and a lot of work. Somehow the people that I've highlighted have found the rhythm of doing what they do, which is a chore, which is a job, but still having fun. Because they were all pretty much upbeat. They're still there. Nobody's like, you know what, John, F this. This is our last day. We're signing out. We're never going to do this again. They're all continuing to go with their work, with their solar charger, with their expensive internet in Botswana. Nobody's stopping. So they have obviously figured out the rhythm to do it. But I know when you go film stuff on a motorcycle, you got to make it about filming. It's not about riding now.
How long is this piece?
6 minutes?
6 minutes?
Yeah.
Do you want to try to upload anything on YouTube lately? Huh? An hour to an hour and a half, 5 minutes. Is that changing? How long does it take to upload 5 minutes?
I've tried it. It does take time. And I don't know what the secret... Yeah, and the girl from South Africa, she'll get an hour from footage of from her editor. She'll fine-tune it, direct it. Now she has 3 20-minute pieces, and she has to get it onto YouTube. So I hear what you're saying, yes. Yeah. Yep. And that's what I'm trying to highlight, that none of this is easy. None of this is easy. And again, I said the running thing they all have in common is they're all happy. Some are making money. Sterling, this gentleman here, makes money because he's a professional cinematographer, and Alfred says, you know what, I'm taking 10 guys, and we're starting at the tip of Mexico, we're going to Patagonia, and we want to film our trip. So I don't know how much he gets paid, but now he's loaded down with equipment and camera, and he's got to talk to everybody, stop a minute, I'm going to go a mile ahead, and I'm going to get around this turn, and I'm going to put my camera here, and then I'm going to have a drone follow you, and okay, wait 20 minutes, and now everybody come. And when you ride into Patagonia, you don't want, it's like, yeah, it's like, and they have drones now. The big problem with mine, when I went and filmed my buddy, I hit a tree. And they have drones now where you can set your little thing on your handlebar to follow you, and the drone companies say, try to crash us. They've made their drones to avoid trees and hills and cliffs, so the drone has a computer on it that can tell you a tree's coming up and it's got to go left, or it's got to go right, so you could just, yep, and it avoidance is the big thing, the new thing in the drone, is they can avoid hitting trees, whatever. They can follow you, and some of them go up to 30 miles an hour. You got, I'm usually riding 60 or 80 miles an hour. You got to slow down for your drone shot, but the production value for your film, for your show, is priceless. Uh-huh. Yeah. No, I put stuff on Vimeo, my demo reels and stuff like that, or if I got to send self-edition tapes to producers. And it's a pain in the butt to get stuff on Vimeo. It takes a long time to download. And then my internet's gone, I can't get online with other stuff because the Vimeo download, yeah, I'm with you. And I don't know if they have found a secret, but if they haven't, again, it's a... Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure I know Sterling's shooting in 4K, and I'm sure most of them are because the GoPros that are out now, you know, it's like almost like, what? Wait, what's 1080p? It's like, what? Really? Because I have cameras that are six. Yep. No, I have time until you all throw me out. Yes, and what my fear is there, you're absolutely correct. My fear is there, how many YouTube people are there? Tens of thousands, millions. So then we've got, as the Ojai Film Festival, how many submissions are we looking at? So
Circumstances and work down at the motel and
exactly right. Because if it's a problem that we're getting popularity, but with the popularity and the demand from the public, it's like you got a shitload of YouTube videos that you got to go through, and we hire people or we get volunteers to look through them, and we start to whittle it down in the course of a year. Right now, I think our submissions for films for the film festival, I think shuts in June or something. I'm not sure when our submissions shut for the film fest, but gives us time to look at all, because we got like 180 films this year. Just documentaries, narrative films, animation. I think we got 180 submissions or more from Iran, from all over the world, and we had to have a core of people go through these films. So we have to do that with YouTube because we find that we're filling seats and we're having YouTube filmmakers filled out in that courtyard sharing drinks and glasses of wine and going back and forth and well, that's what I'm saying. Absolutely. It should surely come like that. Thank you so much. Have a good night. No, it surely could develop into that. Like I said, this tonight and this year is a research and development for us. Is there an audience there? Is there interest there? Is there enough filmmakers that want to get involved in the film festival and bringing their product here and being able to network with other people. Is this the future of where people go for entertainment? How many people go here for entertainment now that don't want to watch the news? Absolutely. Yes. Right. Yeah. I think the entire industry is perplexed what to do with themselves right now because they release James Bond in the movie theaters and on HBO Max. Hollywood doesn't know what to do with the audience right now. Where they going? Where they coming? What's next? Where are we going to find them? How are we going to fill seats? You can watch the new James Bond, the new Star Wars on HBO Max. When has that happened? You know, when is the James Bond movie the same time as the theater? Isn't that taken away from theaters? I think, like I said, I think the whole business is in a whirlwind of like, what are we doing? Where are we going? What's going on? Amazon, Netflix, Hulu. Yep. But Amazon, I mean, not Amazon, Netflix, but like Hulu. I just did a miniseries about Pam Anderson and Tommy Lee. Disney owns Hulu. So even Hulu's a little streaming thing, a major studio owns it, major corporation owns it. So they're getting into the streaming world. Their fingertips are getting into the streaming world. Yeah, so. Apple TV. Right. Yeah. I mean, again, bottom level of what we're doing, bottom line of what we're doing here this year with this group is we're reaching out and recognizing just little independent folk YouTube filmmakers. Does it go any further than this? We don't know. I tell you, they're all honored. They're like, well, how did this happen? Oh my God, they can't believe it. They didn't see themselves as worthy of a filmmaking an award doing their YouTube channel. But like I said, as far as telling a story and delivering production value, and then the heart and the body and soul of a true YouTube filmmaker, they fit those categories. Why not recognize them? Where does it go? Again, let me look, if I may, all the films we've gotten, all the true filmmakers that have put their film in this film festival, we don't fill seats. We don't fill seats. We don't have filmmakers here. Two filmmakers. You go out in that big theater and ask how. I've been a stunt coordinator, stuntman for 40 years. I've done seminars on action and film. Let me fill up a room with filmmakers and I'll tell you how I do what I do. How do you save money? How to be safe? How to not be safe? And I've done it 2 years in a row, and I've never had a filmmaker in the audience. That's a problem to me with a film festival. We need to get filmmakers in the seats. These films from filmmakers are not doing it. No. No, and I probably shouldn't say that on camera, but they're not. It's a fact. Whatever it is, you know, do we have a big social network thing going on? Is there 40 filmmakers that go out and make connections after tonight? Probably not. So that's what we're doing as a film festival. We're reaching out, trying to find. Thank you for popping in. Oh. Yeah. No bet. Thank you. Have a great night. Thanks for popping in. So I hear what you're saying about film festival. What about all the filmmakers? You know, we get tons of films from outside the country, and these filmmakers don't come. We're an hour, 2 hours from Hollywood. We don't have filmmakers up here. So that's what we're trying to. To me, that's what a film festival should be about: addressing the needs, the wants, and being for filmmakers. Right now, we have folks that, hey, that really don't have anything to do on a Saturday night. Let's go see what's happening at the Arts Center. Exactly right. Exactly right. Exactly. It takes big money to draw, but does it take big money to draw YouTube filmmakers? Are they smaller, independent individuals that if they get wind of this and say they can get recognition, that maybe then they can turn into money, then maybe they spark interest. It's like, yeah, no, let's get some recognition. Let's get in film, let people see us. Yeah, like I said, it's a research and development. We have nothing to lose. I honestly can stand by our finalists as filmmakers for a film festival. We see where it goes. We see where it goes. You don't know unless you try, right? And that's what we do as filmmakers. You don't know who's going to like your film unless you go make it. I've done a bunch of failures, you know. Yep. So that's who we are. I appreciate everybody coming in and hearing what we have to say. And I'm serious about, I mean, you're around for the weekend, you'll be back, and yeah. So find me or one of the other board members or our website and stuff. But I've been telling the guys, I've been in for 3 years, and I told them on day one when I saw everybody with the gray hair, which are all great people, and they mean well. But to continue on in success, this is a young person's business. We need your input, we need your feedback, we need this. This is how you probably have filmmaker friends. You probably know what will attract your filmmaker friends to an event, whatever it may be. Even if it's just a mixer, like, hey, I have cameras and equipment and lights and audio stuff. You got to shoot something, let me come help. I'm going to shoot for free, help you. You know what I'm saying? You got a good story, I'll come help, shoot it for free. You don't know, actors. It's just networking at our level. You want your money back? Okay. I appreciate it. It'll go to good use. It'll go to good use. Thanks again so much for everybody's patience. And like I said, whether you email us or online or whatever,
To get out
we love feedback. This thing is being recorded and it's going to go out on the internet. And I'll probably get grief for saying things I said, but no, please. John Brannigan. Pleased to meet you, Hanson. Thank you.
I gave you a card, right?
Yes, you did.
If you get a chance, Google my name and look at some of the stuff I've done. I've got tons of stuff on YouTube.
Yeah.
I don't do it. I mean, it's quicker on Facebook than it is on YouTube.
Right.
I can put up something in a few minutes.
Good. Thank you. Well,